everybody, JP here, and welcome to the great Micropitch Shootout. It's a video I've wanted to do for a while, and I was originally planning to do it with vocals at some point, since this effect is used so much on vocals by mix engineers. But the last video I did on the guitar intro to Pull Me Under from Dream Theater, I demonstrated how tape machine vari-speed was used to create a massive natural chorus effect on the guitars without, like an LFO or, sine wave modulator happening like a typical chorus effect would have. I even mentioned in that video that, yeah, sure, you could do this with a harmonizer, go up a few cents, down a few cents, left and right. And a few people commented that for saving time, that's probably what they would do, even though it did sound really good with the tape effect on there. So it got me thinking, why don't we use this as our example to go through all the various Micropitch, and we can compare them to the guitars I did from that video, from the Pull Me Under intro. So on that intro that I just played you here, I didn't have all of the tracks. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you might want to watch that first. I had about 3 pairs of guitars plus the dry original, so that's 7 electrics and then 2 acoustics. For this, all you heard in that intro were 3 tracks of electrics. There was 1 pair with the original dry mono in the middle, and then the acoustics on top of it. So let's go back and listen to that. Take the acoustics out, and we'll take our delay and reverb out. So what you're hearing is the dry guitar. That's the original one I played. And then you're hearing the pair that I did with the tape machine sped down 1/4 of a BPM and then sped up 1/4 of a BPM for the chorus effect. So that's going to be kind of our baseline for comparison here. So let me show you what we're going to compare that with. The infamous Eventide H3000 Micropitch, patch 231. A lot of mix engineers park their Eventides on this. And yeah, again, primarily for vocals, but sounds excellent on guitar as well. So we've got left and right going up and down 9% or 9 cents each. I believe it's in cents, but it sounds about right to me. And then slight delay. Although the left says 0, it actually is a 10 millisecond delay because that's any pitch shifting algorithm on here has a built-in 10 millisecond delay. And then the right at 17% is actually a 25 millisecond delay on the right. So that's kind of what we're basing everything else on. So we're going to compare that with AMS DMX, which I think sounds excellent. I personally, not to get to the end, I think this sounds the closest to the actual guitars. But you'll see the others all have something going on as well. But something about the top ends on the AMS just works really, really well with guitars. Again, same delay times programmed in. And in terms of the shift, it calculates it a little differently, so I kind of had to go by ear and find what I thought sounded closest. And then we're going to compare that with the Valhalla delay, which is fantastic for this. And then a few other variations on the H3000 and the Valhalla, and then the Soundtoys Micro Shift, which sounds killer. Why don't we just dive into this? Again, first the guitars. So that's our dry mono guitar. That's what's going to be feeding all of these. So that's it with the AMS. I'm going to go back and forth between the AMS and the stereo pair. So that's our guitar tracks. That's our AMS. Boost them a little. Just to show you what I'm doing on the AMS here, we're pitching it up and down slightly. I had to go by ear to match it with the preset from the Eventide, which we'll play next. And I was able to match the very slight delay times with the Eventide as well, rather. 10 millisecond on the left, 25 on the right. Now here's the Eventide. Now I really did not touch this preset at all because it's such a stalwart in the industry. Back to the guitars. Back to the Eventide. And so the Eventide, even though it says here left delay 0, the left delay still has 10 milliseconds of delay built into it. You can see down here. That's the minimum you can get on any of their pitch shift algorithms. And then the right side has 25 millisecond, as seen up here, 17%. So let's compare the H3000 to the AMS real quick. H3000, just the box sound of this effect is thicker in the mids. Always has been, always will be. AMS, always a little crisper on top. And those are just inherent in the units. And now, the Valhalla Micropitch. Valhalla actually has 2 Micropitch presets. We'll get to the other one in a minute. This one is the same as the Eventide H3000. It comes up this way. And here's what that sounds like. Back to the H3000. Back to the Valhalla. So Valhalla knocked it out of the park with us, as they often do. Let's go back to the H3000. And we're going to compare the H3000 with the Microshift. Now, let's just talk about the Microshift for a second. Soundtoys was started by Ken Bogdanovich, who was one of the software engineers at Eventide in the 80s. So he was one of the DSP engineers behind the H3000. So the first style mode and also the default preset on here is essentially Eventide's the H3000 231 preset. So that's the H3000. That's Microshift. H3000. Microshift. H3000. So, incredibly close. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about here, these style modes. Style 2 is based on a different H3000 preset that we don't exactly have. It's based on preset 519, which was another micropitch mode. We have something similar. We have preset 521 on here, which is micropitch with a little bit of slap. And so I've turned down the amount of slap on here just so you could hear that by itself. It's essentially the same pitching with just a little bit more of a noticeable delay, like a double effect on the delay. And of course I have it exaggerated a bit here. But I also dialed that in on the Valhalla. There's the Valhalla. And so this is called Micropitch Shift 2 on the Valhalla. Back to the Eventide. And the Valhalla. Back to the Eventide. And now let me dial this up on here. And that's Microshift. In addition to style 2 on Microshift, I also made the delay a little looser. So, again, really spot on. All three, really. That's Microshift now. That's Valhalla. And that's the Eventide. So now, let's do style 3 on Microshift. And go back to the midpoint on there. So style 3 is based on the AMS. So let's compare this with our AMS. That's the AMS. Back to Microshift. AMS. Microshift. And then there's another cool way to listen to all these, and that is, I'm going to put my send in pre-fade here, and we're just going to listen to the sound of the effects, which you could hear already. You can really hear the difference between style 1 style 2 and style 3. The richness of style 1 based on the H3000 really comes through to me, whereas the AMS is a little thinner and brighter. And that tracks with reality. That's the AMS by itself there. H3000 by itself. Valhalla. And these are all based on the 231 presets right now. There's 521 on the Eventide. And Valhalla doing 521. And then just for fun, here's the generic Avid pitch shifter. Couldn't resist this. So we're doing 9 cents down, 9 up, 10 milliseconds on the left, 25 on the right, just like the Eventide 231 preset. That's the AMS. And that's the Avid. H3000. Avid. Valhalla. Avid. So, I think the moral of this story is that, at least on clean guitars like these, you can't really go wrong with any of these options. And I know that might be frustrating. Maybe some of you were looking for a clear-cut winner, but very slight differences. You know, again, the AMS is a little brighter and crisper, maybe a little thinner, and the H3000 a little thicker in the mids, as it's known to be. Valhalla did a killer job emulating both of those H3000 presets. Really, really fantastic job. That was kind of the dark horse. Well, I guess the Avid would be the true dark horse, right? And then Micropitch or Microshift rather, from Soundtoys, apologies, absolutely lived up to its billing, you know, being that it was the same people behind that and the original H3000 presets. Absolutely nailed those. I do think I'm going to do another one of these with vocals because I think, again, depending on the voice, I think it might be easier to say, oh, you know, the AMS works better with a certain voice, the H3000 better with a certain voice, and so on. Whereas with the same guitar track, again, I think it's personal preference, but I don't think you could really go wrong with any of these. Just for fun, let's hear. That's our original guitars. I'm going to go through them all compared to the guitars now. That's the AMS. Back to the guitars. Eventide. Back to the guitars. Valhalla. Eventide 521. Guitars. Valhalla doing 521. Back to the guitars. Micropitch doing, where did we leave that off? Style 1, okay. Back to the guitars. And Avid. Back to the guitars. And just one more thing I want to take a look at before we finish up here. In our last video, we combined multiple pairs of doubled guitars that were done at different tape speeds. So far today, we've just been listening to the ones that were plus minus a quarter of a BPM. Now we're going to do one that was half a BPM, and this one had a little bit more of a flangey sound to it. You know, compared to, that's the quarter BPM. Turn that up a little. So, yeah, we're starting to get into flanger territory, right? So then I thought, why don't we try that with the AMS? So I have another instance of the AMS here. This was just the easiest device to do it with out of everything we're using. So I went a little further on this, plus and minus. Again, just by ear. So that's the guitars. That's the AMS. I think I got the level right there. So now, let's listen to this AMS as well as the old AMS that we had. Of course, you could play to set your optimal level. Lost that one. That's just the original. And now the extra. A slightly wider pitching up and down. So now now we're back to both pairs of guitar doubles. And now both AMSs. The blend's not exactly the same, but I think you get the idea. Very convincing. And you know what? Just for fun, let's combine that second AMS. There we go. That's H3000 on preset 521 with the AMS. A little mix and match, if you will. Back to the guitars. AMS and the H3000 together. I really like that. I actually hadn't tried that before just now. And just so you can see it. That's the H3000 we're using there. That's the two effects together. Once again, guitar doubles. AMS and H3000 together. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, if I say so myself. These are all really cool, and it was fun to go through them all. I gotta say, none of them disappointed me, including the Avid. A good old Avid Pitch 2 holds up with the rest, so they've got some good DSP going on in there. All right, so yeah, I'll probably come back and do one of these on vocals at some point, either my voice or somebody else's. Yeah, I've actually been doing some vocal exercises, and I haven't sung in a long time, but I'm thinking about doing it for a couple upcoming videos. So, you know, some microphone tests and things like that. Things that I don't really want to have to bring a singer in for because, you know, it just adds to the planning. I think probably the next thing you'll see will be the drum vari-speed video with my buddy Drew, where we're going to show some different ways to get those vari-speed effects on drums, both manually and in the recording process, like we did with Portnoy back on 6 Degrees for Misunderstood. All right, so until then, please like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. I know I have a lot of new fans from this Dream Theater content, so I hope you're enjoying all this. And yeah, please share, spread the word. I appreciate it. All right, guys, take care.